Good morning, everyone. I am Peter Hensel, as Mike already said, from Codewerk. So from the big Bosch to the rather small Codewerk. I want to present our IDTA solutions today. But first of all, thanks a lot to the IDTA, especially Mike, Christian, to give this opportunity here. So it's incredible what the IDTA has achieved and how big the community has become. So 125 members and 45 solutions. That's really, really great. So before I start with my presentations, a few words to Codewerk. So we are a software provider for industry and railway transportation in Karlsruhe, and have also some locations inside Germany. We were founded in 2014, and now we are around 60 people, so most of them software developers and architects. We are IDTA members since 2021, and we are also a consortium member of the Factory X project. I guess you all know the Factory X project. So the title of my presentation today is Efficient Implementation of DPP 4.0 with unibeam. So I guess you expect another DPP regulation talk, and that the DPP is mandatory and you are all in big trouble if you don't work on it already today, because the EU wants it. So, but not today. So today we want to focus more on the customer side. We want to focus on the plant operators, owners and operators, especially of large process automation plants like BASF, Bayer or Evonik here in Germany. So those poor operators, they have plants with thousands of different devices from different vendors. They have a lot of documents to keep, to maintain. They need to update all the devices. So they have highly heterogeneous systems. They have thousands of documents, so it's manuals, it's spare part lists, it's certificates, etc. So there's no standardization of data today. So some data is coming via email, some data has to be downloaded on the customer portals, some is file share, even CDs are still there. So there's a study that up to 60% of the maintenance person's time is just unproductive, looking for the right information to do their maintenance work. So let's have a deeper look at the situation today. So, of course, manufacturers are providing their data already in their customer portals. They do it also because of aftermarket sales and so on. But every manufacturer, every supplier has their own portal. So they are not standardized. Everything is very different. Also, the data sheets are not standardized. So we think the data is available, but it's not standardized yet. So let's imagine a better world. Let's imagine the data is standardized, and also the way of transferring the data from the supplier via the machine builder to the factory operator or the owner is also standardized. So there's a transmission of the data without need of human interaction to import data into the system and so on. So, and one step further, let's imagine if there's also change notifications, if, for example, a manual has changed or a new firmware is available for a device. So that would not only create big efficiency gains, but also entirely new business solutions, business models, sorry. So that's what, of course, Factory X is striving for, and also the Digital Data Chain Consortium driven by BASF, where we are also part of it with Codewerk. So what is still missing in our opinion at most of the vendors? Of course, Bosch has it. So there is unique identification missing. So today, you're searching by serial number, you search by product code, but there could be, this is error prone, there could be different hardware revisions, software revisions, and so on. And the second one is, of course, standardized data. So it needs to be machine readable, so the systems can exchange data without human interaction. So technologies are there for this. So there's on the one side the IEC 61406 with its ID link and its QR code. And of course, there is the asset administration shell. I guess that's why we are all here today. So these things together, they are the DPP 4.0, which is driven by IDTA and ZVEI. I saw also Stefan Schork from here. He's also the driver of this. Yeah, and we think that's a very good thing for the start. So the technology is ready, in our opinion. So the operators can use the ASX files if provided by the manufacturers and suppliers to do the standardized file exchange. They can even use the ASAP also right now because standardized is working, and we also showed that with the Factory X demonstrator at the Hanover Fair this year. So there we interconnected the different AAS repos of the manufacturers with our and other platforms and showed that the transmission of data is working already today. So how does that help our poor operators? So they can, if the suppliers are providing this, already today use the ID link for unique identification. And not only to go to the manufacturer's website, they can also use it, for example, in their systems like SAP BNAC or ShareCAD to see the device data in their system and to see, for example, also when was the last maintenance, what is the location tag, and all that additional information they have. They can, of course, import ready-to-use ASX files to integrate the devices into their system. So they have no manual work. There's no errors because it's machine-to-machine communication. They can do that right now if the suppliers are providing this. So already today, they can save a lot of time for the required. They can save a lot of time with this. And if the suppliers support the DPP 4.0, of course, they also fulfill the EU DPP regulations. So we are back at DPP. So, but not as a threat, but as a chance for all stakeholders here. So what we are offering from Codewerk here. We want to help especially small and medium-sized companies to support or to making their product data available. And that's easy and efficient, so they can keep their existing systems and they don't need to start a huge IT project for that. So either we only support or we only provide our tools, we provide the support, we provide the consulting, and the manufacturer can integrate and interconnect the system on its own with our unibeam solution. Second one, of course, we can do that for our customers. So we integrate everything, we do the interfacing, and we also help the manufacturer to make the DPP 4.0 available. Or they just give us the information required. So this could be via, I don't know, Excel sheets or an interface. And we host everything and we do the DPP as a service on our platform. So that's also possible. So especially small companies that don't have the IT available or the infrastructure, they don't want to maintain it. It could also be a solution that we do it as a service. So how do we do that? We have our platform unibeam, which is a low-code IT/OT platform. And what does it do? So first of all, it securely interconnects all the IT and OT systems of the manufacturer. Then you can also do KPI calculations and dashboarding. For example, we did OEE calculations for some customers, but they can do it also on their own. So speaking of that, unibeam is very easy to customize and extend because we have here a low-code approach. So we use Node-RED flows to calculate the KPIs, also to create new adapters to systems. And we use Grafana for dashboarding, so the dashboards are very easy to adapt also by the customers. And of course, we also provide DPP 4.0. So we have a web server and the AAS repo there, where the data is then available from outside. So one example, one customer of us is Michael Koch GmbH here in Germany. They are a hidden champion of brake resistors and energy management devices. And they have a production database for their customized energy management devices, but they also still have some CSV files, some static data for their brake resistors. Because not every brake resistor is different, so there's no living database there. So we installed a unibeam instance in the IT of Koch, and we have here a Drupal connector and a CSV connector to connect the data, to bring it all together. And then we also have a unibeam instance on their cloud provider, where we have our AAS repo, the web server, and the database for all the manuals and stuff like that. So we provide here then DPPs. So we provide instance-specific DPPs for the energy management devices, because every instance is different there. And there are also different certificates, for example. And we provide type-specific DPPs for the brake resistors, because they don't have instance-specific details there. So I see I'm very good in time, but that's already it. Or is this 15 minutes, Mike? Is it 10 or 15 minutes? 15 minutes. Ah, okay. So then, thanks a lot for your attention. We have time. We have 4 minutes for some questions here. And afterwards, we are also here, Florian, Samuel, and me and Lucas, to answer your questions. Thank you.